What is the challenge? Sometimes the challenge is just taking the time. Sometimes the challenge is being afraid. And fear can hold us back from so many things. Trust me, I've been there. Trust me, I'm still there sometimes. We're all going through our own transitions. And while we're going through them, we have to ask for guidance. Sometimes, if we're not asking for it, how will anyone know what it is that our needs are? But what is our comfort zone? Sometimes we're not as comfortable talking to the person next to us or our neighbor or our family. Sometimes we just need to go and say, God, I need you to help me. And you can talk. Tell freely what it is that you need to be going through, that you're going through, excuse me. And sometimes with that inspiration, and we're walking out and we're, spending that time outside, it helps, you know. I think it was Natural Travel Day last week. Some traveling day it was, and everyone was lined up at Herald Square. And during this lineup, they were asking, what exactly is it you want to do? Are you ready to go on vacation? Now, of course, there's timeshare. There's all different forms of travel. But they had this wheel. They had people lined up, and you know how it is in New York. And they had the wheel, and people were pulling at this wheel, and it stopped in certain destinations. One of the destinations was a free trip to Florida. And a lot of people were really basically going there to do this. I mean, they had it, they were filming it in New York, everything. And what happened is there were certain individuals who finished spinning the wheel, and they won these different trips. Now, even with the trip, sometimes a lot of people find themselves in situations where they are depressed or they are caught up in their circumstances and they don't know how to move forward. That is the main time where you're going to have to either go out in nature or exercise, make sure you're drinking the necessary water, replenishing your body. But sometimes when we are not grounded and we don't know what to do, simply putting roses or flowers in a vase, changing the environment in your home, that actually helps to lift your vibration as well. The problem is that sometimes we get so caught up in what the problem is that we are so much further away from the solution. One of the solutions is asking for guidance, asking for help. Sometimes we are not going to necessarily receive that help right away, snap right into it. But sometimes we say it, put it out there, and then we just wait and just relax. Inhaling, exhaling, getting it in, getting that time in. Sometimes we find ourselves so caught up and pulled down by the problems and the pressures that are going on in your life. But sometimes you need to step away from it. You don't need to just find yourself getting so angry. Because sometimes let me tell you, we've all been tested and we will continue to be tested in different ways. And while you're being tested, if you continue to focus on the problem, how is the solution supposed to surface? There was a man who went to the doctors, and the doctor told him, you're going to have to get this surgery. You're having all these problems with your body because you didn't do what you're supposed to do in your youth. Now, this man, did he need to hear all the negativity? Sometimes what it takes is to just step out of that element. Now, true to God, the doctor's going to give you the information, but with that information, when you take that information, what are you doing with it? A lot of people go to Hippocrates. Hippocrates is in Florida on Gulf Road in Palm Beach. A lot of people go there to replenish. They have a raw food diet. Now, I'm not going to say that this is the easiest thing to do because it's a transition in these different things that you're doing. But it's a healing environment. You have people of like mind there, people uplifting each other, people who are there specifically for the same reason. They are finding that they're needing to change their routine. And with this difference in routine, maybe add more fruits and vegetables to their diet. They can still listen to their doctor, but the change, it might be needed. Maybe they need to just step out and have this experience so that they can actually move forward. We don't know exactly what the next person needs, but God does. He's got it. He's got the information. All you need to do is pray on it, meditate on the answer. Try to focus on more than just the problem. You know, God is here for you. You don't even need to make an appointment. You know, He always has time for you. All you need to do is tap in and try to figure out what time you're going to have for Him. And in that time, what are we doing with that time? Sometimes when you step out on faith and you just sit out in nature and you have that talk, the answers come. So try your hardest not to always harp on the problem. Focus on what the answers might actually be. The answer might be right in front of you and you don't even know it. Stepping out on faith, making sure that you are making that connection, you know. Like-minded people come to you when you are on that frequency. Step in, tap in, enjoy nature, sit out, and just take it all in. Sitting in silence sometimes will help too, you know, because you're trying to gain that knowledge. Well, you're doing all this talking to everyone around you, and you're not necessarily spending that quality time, are you? So whatever the answer is, it will come to you. Just take that necessary time and connect. All right? Have a wonderful one.